Hello everyone, this is Witcher the Wizard, here again for your weekly Twin Flames Twin Within energy report for the week of October 14th through the 20th. So just in case you're new to the channel and you're a Twin Flame, or if you're not a Twin Flame, you don't know what that is, that's fine. I draw one card for the feminine energy within us all, and one card for the masculine energy within us all. That's why I call it the Twin Within. And I look at those energies as the energies that we're dealing with for the week ahead, right? And so whatever you identify yourself as, if you identify yourself as a masculine personality or a feminine personality, the opportunity is to look at the opposite energy for areas of growth. You want to look at both of them, of course, because they're intertwined, and there's a vast amount of interplay between the two. That's why we have both, because they're both necessary. So you want to look at them both. It's just, in general, if you're a masculine personality, you tend to focus more on your masculine energy. If you're a feminine personality, you tend to focus more on your feminine energy. So the idea is that you can take a look at the other energy and really focus on that and see how that is intersecting with your primary energy, right? And get those two to really work together. And then I finish it all up with a drawing from the Enchanted Map Oracle cards from Colette Baron-Reid, which I really like. And I always forget to say this, but I'm using the Wizard's Tarot by Corrine Kenner, which I love. It's got fantastic artwork, and I just really love the symbology of it all. So it works really well for me, I guess, because I'm a wizard. So anyway, getting right into it, we'll start with as we always do, the feminine energy. For this week, I pulled the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles. Right? So the Pinnacle Suite is all about abundance. Yeah, it's about material goods because we primarily live in the material world. But it's really abundance of all types. It's abundance of material goods. It's abundance of time. It's abundance of energy. It's abundance of joy. It's abundance of love. It's abundance of friendships and personal relationships, and whatever your main focus of interest is in life. It's realizing that you have an abundance of that. I saw a really good quote last week, and the quote was that I got to paraphrase. I wrote it down, but I got to paraphrase. I don't have it right in front of me. It's something like that wealth is just energy. Money is just energy, and energy is everywhere. It's surrounding us. We're surrounded by it. And that poverty is when you choose to stop looking for the wealth that surrounds you. Okay? That just really hit me. You choose to stop looking for the wealth that surrounds you. And that immediately brought me to the picture of the Four of Cups, where you have a person who's standing there looking at 3 cups, and they have a really sour look on their face, a really disgruntled, sour look on their face. And right behind them is a 4th cup that's sort of being, handed out by the universe to them. But they're so intent on those 3 cups, which I tend to think are empty, that those 3 cups are empty, and I envision that the 4th cup is full. And so they're so intent at looking at those 3 empty cups that they don't see the full cup that the universe is just handing to them right behind them. If they would only just break away from being obsessed with the empty cups, of how they don't have, and turn and look around, they would see how they do have, that the universe is constantly bringing you new cups. But you have to shift your focus away from the what you don't have and look around and see how much you do have. I know this is a reoccurring theme for my life and probably everyone's life, but it really does come down to there's so much wealth that surrounds us, and all we got to do is shake ourselves out of that rut of only seeing what we don't have and start to focus on what there actually is, and you'll see wealth literally all around you, just all around you. So for the feminine energy, it really is, taking that fresh perspective, right? We've got the Page of Pentacles, taking that fresh perspective to look to see where there's wealth just all around you. Maybe you weren't trained to see it. Maybe you're not used to seeing it, but it's there. I guarantee it's there. It's there. It's because the energy is infinite. They know that the vast majority, 90+% of the energy in the universe is not visible to us. They call it dark energy. And they know it's there because that's the only way that the mathematics works on things like gravity and stuff like that. Gravity, they know how gravity works. They measured it, and they kind of looked at all the visible matter in the universe. And they said, well, there's not enough mass to kind of make gravity work. And so they said, well, there must be, dark matter. And then they did some other experiments, and then they said, well, there's got to be dark energy as well. And they looked at their calculations, and they realized that something like 98% of the universe is dark energy. So there's just literally energy all around us. It's everywhere. We just have to get out of our step out of our normal perspective, take a fresh look, and see that there really is abundance all around us. And what does it look like, and how can we receive it, right? Because especially for the feminine energy, you don't go out and chase abundance. We get focused on it, we get tuned into it, and it comes to us. And again, it's perspective, so it's inside your head, right? So you're not going out and looking for that abundance. You're coming from within and saying, I know who I am. And as you focus on yourself and what's really there for you in your heart, you'll start to see that abundance all around you, right? You don't have to chase it. So that's the feminine energy. The masculine energy is the Six of Swords in reverse. So the Six of Swords in reverse is all about, the Suit of Swords is about discernment. So using discernment. And discernment for the Six of Swords it's really all about moving forward, right? You've been focused on something, and it's time to move forward. Oh, hang on a second. I got a guest here who's being really noisy. Pause. Okay, so the Six of Swords in the upright position is really about disconnecting from something that you've had on your mind for a long time and moving on, right? Just saying, okay, I have been thinking about this. I've been entertaining these thoughts long enough. It's time to move on. And the Six of Swords in reverse, it tells me that it's really, you're stuck on something and you can't let it go, right? There's something in your head that you've been, absorbing all your thoughts and all your mental focus, and you can't let go. You can't move on from it, right? These are obsessive thoughts. These are things that we just keep thinking about and thinking about and thinking about and thinking about and thinking about. And no matter how much we think about them, nothing ever changes. We can't do anything about it. We can't change it. We can't affect it in every way. It's like we're trying to change something just by thinking about it, and we can't. I mean, that's not how discernment works. Discernment is saying, I have, is this right for me or wrong for me? Choice A, B, and C. Which one do I want to make? And learning how to weed out the choices using your internal guidance and move forward, right? So this is just obsessing over something that you want to change by just thinking about it more, but it won't. It's not how it works. It's never how it works, right? You think about it, you see how it's interacting with you, and most importantly, you see, like, is this thing that I'm obsessed with, is it reflecting my energy back to me or not? And there's two ways that your internal guidance and discernment works. Way number one is your internal, when you're thinking about something, your internal, and you're listening to your internal guidance, it will tell you, is this in alignment with who I really am? Not do I want it or not? And we often want things that aren't good for us or aren't right for us, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's just part of our experience in life here, right? But when you calm down and you drop down into yourself and you kind of check your gut, check your heart, you check your gut, what are they telling you? And that's your internal guidance, and it'll say yes or no. It will be just that simple, right? You will just get a yes or no. This is right for me, or this is not right for me. This is meant for me, or this is not meant for me. So that's way number one, that our internal guidance works. Way number two is that when we do think that we're in alignment with something and we start to take action, we take action in the world and we start putting our energy out there. We're taking action, we're putting our energy out there, and then we stop and wait to see how that energy is being reflected back to us. So is it being reflected back to us at all? And if so, is it being reflected back to us in a way that's helping us out in a positive way, right? So I don't want it to be judgy. I want it to just be like, is this helping me or hindering me where I want to get to in life, right? And if it's not, then we got to let it go and move in a different direction. And so that's what the Six of Swords is that we got to let something go and move on in a different direction. But the masculine energy is stuck on this and is keep throwing, tons of energy towards something that's not reflecting back to us in a helpful way. And yet the masculine energy is not willing to just let it go. So, but that's where we want to get to, is we want to focus on that. We want to take inventory, and where are we putting energy in our lives that's what do we need to let go of? And it doesn't necessarily mean let go forever, right? There's all kinds of things. Life is complicated, and so there's issues of timing. This may not be the right time, or you may not be doing it the right way, or who knows what. Whatever's going on, it's not effective. It's not helping. Let it go so that we can move on, move forward, and take that energy that we have and put it towards something that's going to be effective for us. Help us get to where we want to go in life, which is basically the joyful expression of our soul's desires, our heart's desires. That's what it really all comes down to. That's what we're all here to do. We're all here to tune out of what the rest of the world thinks, tune into our hearts and our souls, what we really want to do, who we really are in this world, and what we really want to do, and do it, and never mind the fear that we might get rejected. And then also, sometimes we have an idea, we have this feeling of this is what my soul's desire is, but we're not sure, the brain's kind of not sure how that's going to get implemented in reality. What does that look like? So we try something and it doesn't work. Move on. We try something else and that kind of doesn't work. Move on. Eventually, though, we start to understand, oh wait, this is how it's going to work well for me. This is returning good results to me. This is really reflecting back in a way that's helpful, healthy, positive, joyful. I'm getting there, right? But you can't do that. You can't do that trial and error if you're stuck here, if you're stuck in that energy. So we got to get out of that stuck energy. So let's all take notice of where we're stuck this week and move on. And it's okay, right? So for the Oracle card, I got the Compass in reverse, which is kind of fitting for the masculine energy at least. Compass in reverse. Well, actually for the feminine too. So let me read that for you. As long as you orient your compass to true north, the direction of your higher power, you will never be lost. Okay, in reverse. What is your higher power right now? Whatever you constantly focus on long enough becomes your higher power. If you worry about about financial insecurity, materialism is your idol. If you obsess over a relationship, that is your God. If you're concerned about your weight or your looks or your status, you've lost your personal power and your way. Nothing but spirit can be your guiding force. You'll never truly find what you seek if these worries and distractions are your constant focus. Surrender and shift your compass. Be still and watch as the needle points to true north. Align yourself and you'll easily find your way back to where you're meant to be. So there we go. That works really well with both cards, actually. The Six of Swords in reverse, we just got to move on. We got to, wherever we're stuck. Then this is what meditation is all about. Meditation helps you realign your energies, not only from the external to the internal, but to your true north. When you meditate, the whole purpose of meditation is to help bring your energies back to inside of yourself instead of throwing that energy externally, which is a waste. You want to pull it back to within yourself and get it aligned with your true guidance, your true self, so we can get unstuck and move forward. And then in the process, what we can do is take a fresh look at our lives and see where there's abundance all around us. Maybe that one thing that we were trying didn't work, but that's okay because there's abundance everywhere, right? That relationship didn't work out. There are plenty of fish in the sea. There really are. And if that person, who you thought was going to be really great for you didn't work, as long as you're aligned with your true self, the person that you will work out with will be even better. That's why it's great to say, I want this or something better. Because that's leaving room for the fact that your brain doesn't know it all. It doesn't know what perfection looks like, right? Your heart knows what perfection feels like, but your brain can't, it tries to guess what that looks like in the outside world, but it can't. So you try your best, you give it your best shot, and if, that doesn't succeed, you try something else until you get closer and closer and closer and closer, and finally you hit the mark, and boom, you're happy, you're excited, you're joyful, you're living a life of abundance, right? So same thing with jobs, same thing with, what you want to do in life. Let's say you have an idea of what you want to do, and you're like, yeah, this is my life's goal, this is my life's purpose, my heart's desire. And you try one way, and it doesn't work. Well, try a different way. It's not like a different thing, but the same thing in a different way. And eventually you'll find the way that works for you. And it will probably work way better than the first ways that you were trying to get it to work, because as you're doing this, you're getting closer and closer to your true north. And so it's going to be easier and more effortless and bring you so much more joy once you finally get the recipe correct. So that's it for the week. I hope everyone is doing well. If you like this video, go ahead and click the thumbs up. And if you feel so inclined, subscribe. Otherwise, have a great week, and I'll see you next Sunday.